If I have wounded any soul today, if I have caused one foot to go astray, if I have walked in my own willful way, dear Lord, please forgive. If I have uttered idle words in vain, if I have turned aside from want or pain, please open some other through the strait. Dear Lord, please forgive. If I have been perverse or hard or cold, if I have longed for shelter from the cold, when thou hast given me some port to hold, dear Lord,
This is the way we spent our evenings down at Quartzsite on the desert, sitting around the campfire, telling big yarns, listening to others' good conversation. It was nice.
while strolling along in the country, reviewing the scenes new and old, I found an old-fashioned log cabin, so beautiful there to behold.
Stuart McDougall, Elmer Olson,
His eyes firmly fixed on the goal. My heart ached and pitied to see him, for these were the words that it wore. And the sign read, an old cabin for sale, an old oak in bucket and well. He'd return to see a log on the fire and the light burning bright in the dell. Many years an old couple so patiently looked for the boy whose last promise that failed. Now the old rocking chair will be rocking no more. There's an old log cabin for sale. A welcome I read on the floor.
Grace, and Ray Hardsock.
Celebrated rug by the door. The hands of an angel had made it, with many a prayer prayed before. In an old rocking chair long she waited, for one glimpse of him how she yearned. But now he was standing in silence, too late, yes, too late he'd return.
The camp had Margaret and I pose for our anniversary. I had to go ask Margaret what anniversary that was. It was the 36th. We ate our dinner out on the desert. January the 27th.
Many years an old couple so patiently looked for the boy whose last promise did fail. Now the old rocking chair will be rocking no more.
We're out on Patton's campground picking up rock. Oh, there's coral, old spent shells. It's where Patton trained his troops for North African campaign. Eating our lunch. Always pack a lunch when you go to the desert, pick rock. Four pretty nice cousins. From left to right, Irene Olson, Elmer Olson. Well, Grace is leaned out, so I'll count her next. Grace Hartsock and Ray Hartsock. Every day on the desert was a picnic somewhere. fellow by the name of Carl, Margaret and I, went up on top of a mountain. This here is a antennas where they boost the TV on over the mountains. This is near Brenda. That's a news chopper taking pictures of us so they can put it on television. Tell how many crazy people there is out on the desert. This is why I call my cousins down on the Quartzsite Desert a bunch of pack rats. They pack a lunch in the morning, pack it out, put it in the pickups, pack it up in the hills, go out and pick up a bunch of rock and pack them down to the pickups, eat their lunch, then come back home to camp, sit around the campfire, and tell a pack of lies. At the beginning of this picture, sometime in there, I took a 360-degree shot from Stone Johnny. This is Stone Johnny. It's up on a high raise, and I took a 360-degree swing around the desert to show how many campers that was out on the desert. After taking the little hike up there, Margaret had to take a breast. By Stone Johnny. This is that same area where Carl, I can't think of his name, and Margaret and I went to pick rock. One of our fabulous sunsets that we see on the desert. Of course, as one of my brother-in-laws says, you've seen one, you've seen them all. You can see how true he is. I'm not bragging, but those who haven't seen the desert and the sunsets don't know what they're missing, and we can't tell them. They have to see it for themselves. We're going into Blythe, California now for groceries. I see one of these things and it always reminds me of Roy Mesker. His byword was a cotton picker. Well, this is a cotton picker. That's the kind of a cotton picker I thought he was talking about. Shopping all done. Got enough groceries for another week. Batteries is charged up. New gas, sewer dumped. Shower. Now we can roll back to Quartzsite. Roll into the same holes. Set for another week. And we lived down there at that time for less than $100 a month. Most folks who have never been here thinks it's really hot on the desert in Arizona. You notice all those ladies with big coats on? It's rather chilly. I think it's pronounced Pliffergrass or something like that, but what it really means is Indian writing. You can see it there on the rock, put there 1,000 years ago perhaps, and it's still there. White men still don't know what it means. There are some people who come around and think that they know and read it. And maybe they do know. Maybe their ancestors have passed it down to them. You can see figures of man. No, that isn't one of our Arizona varmints. That's a cute little doggy called Lucky. Lucky was a little Pomeranian, belonged to Ray and Grace. Or they belonged to Lucky. Those holes in the rock up here was made by an indentation where the Indians got the Palo Verde beans, put them in those holes and pound them with another rock to make flour. And that was their bread. I'd love to try it someday. We have a lot of Palo Verde beans around. This is down at Lake Havasu. we get aboard this boat and we tour the Colorado River up as far as Topak Gorge. That's Lake Havasu City, as it was back then. Not very long ago, that's the way it looked. Now you wouldn't recognize it. It has also grown. Down the lower part of the picture, about in the middle, a little right, is a couple of sharp rocks pointing up towards the sky. Those are known as Needle Rocks. That's where Needles, California arrived its name. Now they're in the middle of the picture.
But just like me, they love to sing as over the road we roam. Valerie, 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 as over the road we roam. Oh, may I go a-wandering until the day I die. Oh, may I always laugh and sing beneath God's clear blue sky. Valerie, 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 beneath God's clear blue sky. Beneath God's clear blue sky.
This is what they call the Topak Gorge. Water runs rather fast here because it all has to come through that narrow space between those two rocks, and the Colorado River is rather large. That's squeezed down to about, well, I'd say 300 feet across it.
In old Monterey, on a night that was filled with romance, we listened while violins played, sweet music that held us in trance. I knew she was mine from the start. Her eyes were so devilish and gay. I kissed the rose of the border.
This is called Indian Head Rock. If you notice the face up there, and they claim it looked like an Indian, everybody has their idea of what it looks like, but it does look like an Indian. A cute part of it is, as we move on a little farther, you'll see his eye open up and watch us go by. An old English car. Everything around here is built up of England, because this is the London Bridge, and everything is English.
In old Monterey, on a night that was filled with romance, we listened while violins played, sweet music that held us in trance. I knew she was mine from the start. Her eyes were so devilish and gay. I kissed the rose of the border that night down in old Monterey.
This old boy here, I never did get his name. Got visiting with him, and he wanted to know if I'd ever been in Keokuk, Iowa. Oh yes, I said I've been around there quite a bit. He said he used to live at Centerville. I said, gosh, my son-in-law's father is from Centerville. What's his name? I said Corvaya. That didn't ring a bell to him until I mentioned, well, I think they've changed their name from Corvia, or from Corby to Corvia. Oh hell, he says, I know the Corby mine. I used to work there. Of course, I mentioned Dan. He didn't know him. But there was one of Dan's brothers that he mentioned his name. He knew him. Starting off from sort of an island where there's an airport that this bridge goes to, I will move from left to right, showing you the different spans of the bridge. All the blocks of this bridge were numbered. Then the London Bridge was torn down at London, shipped over here, erected out here in the desert, and now the people, then they dug the channel underneath it so the Colorado River would swing around and go under the bridge. They built the bridge on the desert, then put the water under it. I think that's why we have trouble maybe with the McCulloch chainsaw. That was the man who did this. After he'd done it, he said, "Oh my God, what have I done? I bought the London Bridge." So the London Bridge isn't falling down, it's very sturdy. Here in southwestern part of Arizona. couple of slides back, we have left London Bridge area at Lake Havasu and come on up the Colorado River. We are now just outside of Parker. I believe, yes, we are now camped in a campground called Buckskin Mountain. That fast little bird, known as the Roadrunner, is almost in the middle of the picture. Getting around a bit, we're back to Yuma now. This here is where the guard shack was when Yuma had the territorial prison. Ray Kerbaugh, Grace, on his right, Irene back there on his left. This is where we must buy the tickets to go through the prison. A miniature model of the prison. The prison is just about gone completely now. Freeway took it over, as all freeways do. You can see the freeway in the background. Had more places like this and a lot less television in our jails and prisons, we'd have a lot less crime. This is a bunk where 2 and 3 men would bunk in a hole that big in the rock. It was no fun in there, and I don't think they got fed near as well. When they got out, they was damned happy to be out and become citizens. I don't know what that ring was for, but this here was the exercising area where they'd let them out and they could go out and run around and stretch, and I suppose they put them through a few maneuvers. Under those rocks is the men that didn't make it. That is the cemetery. You don't see any monuments there, do you? I think you know who that is. She sure changed her mind after I locked her in there. I did snap the lock. I didn't snap it, I just hooked it. Hooked that lock on there. She frowned at me because they usually get about 35 to 40 years for prostitution. She does look a little down in the mouth, don't she? We've been over in Old Mexico, coming back now. We're headed towards Prescott, I'm quite sure. I'm going to back up a slide and see. Yes, we are. We've left Quartzsite, I think, for the time being. I believe from here we went on back to Minnesota after surveying our lot to see if we wanted to move that log home down here or build it in Minnesota. My wife hadn't give up on the idea of coming to Arizona yet. Yeah, we have another Roadrunner in the middle of the picture. That's what I was looking for back there a minute ago, because I know what the next slide is coming up. Wile E. Coyote didn't get this Roadrunner either. He beeped right on out of here. Where we're at now is known as the Yarnell Hill. It's a long grade up. We can see snow in the mountains. This is around 7,000 feet, these mountains here at the tops. Uh-oh, Mama found some snow. She thought she got away from it when she left Minnesota. She was going to take that home and put it in a freezer to the camper. We didn't have a home. But when she got over here to Prescott, she finds a lot of snow. And people building right up in the hills amongst the snow. Over on the center left-hand side is our first viewing of Thumb Butte. We're overlooking Prescott here. In the center background is the San Francisco Peaks. Those snow-capped hills. Maybe you didn't notice it, but I did. That other picture was in backwards, because this here's the way the San Francisco Peaks are arranged. Humphrey Peak being the tallest. We're down at Lynx Lake. Karen had her picture down there. Had her picture taken. From left to right is Fran Erling Willitson, myself, and Margaret. Who's taking this picture? Yep, our little buddy, Ray Kerbaugh. So I set up my camera, and it's Margaret, Fran, Erling, myself, Ray Kerbaugh. This here's what Prescott looked like when we got here. It wasn't too much. Few scattered houses. Yep. We wasn't here only a few nights, so down come approximately 4 inches of snow. We took a good look at it. Took some pictures of it. I believe these here are some pictures that I'd bought. This here's a yucca cactus in bloom. This is a pincushion. This here's a pipe organ cactus. This here is a fishhook. This here is the barrel. Barrel cactus. This here is the Roosevelt. No, it's not. It's the Hoover Dam, or now it is called Boulder Dam. It was built during the time of Hoover. If my memory grabs me right, we're already through Las Vegas, not Las Vegas, yeah. Las Vegas, and we're going towards Salt Lake City. We were traveling with Ray and Grace. That's our pickup trailer, our motorhome, mini home behind us. I think we probably had to stop for a doggy rest. I kind of lost Ray. Couldn't, we waited and waited in this area till he come up to us. And I hollered at a truck driver. Well, Ray's like all of us who gets older. When he has to go, he has to go. Oh, the truck driver said, I seen him back there, not too far behind. He's holding his own. In the background you see snow-capped mountains. We have to go over those or through them. Salt Lake City, Utah. It's the way some of the Mormons traveled from Nauvoo, Illinois. Wife and kids pushing and pulling. The old man, him in the shafts. They walked. That is the Mormon Tabernacle. I believe it's called a tabernacle. This is not, if it's a tabernacle, it's not. It's cathedral. Right, I believe this here is called a cathedral. This here is the tabernacle, because in here is where you hear the tabernacle choir put on their performance. that's self-explanatory. We're up at Polson, Montana now. That's where Ray and Grace live. We had to spend a little time up there until their daughter got married. So we ran around and seen what we could see. That's Flathead Lake and the town of Polson. Coming up soon is we seen a friend of ours, Pixie Beach, and her son and daughter, and we went up into the snow mountains there and rode a ski lift. While we were traveling around, I put the lens on my camera, and I've got a few pictures of elk up in the Glacier Mountains. These elk are approximately 4 miles from us. I have an 8210 telephoto lens, and I have a triplex I put behind it, which multiplies that 3 times. That slide jumped in there somewhere. That's when we come out of where I said we'd be going through those snow, but we're back now to the elk. How many can you see in that picture? I can see 1, 2, 3, 4. And I believe 4 is all I can see. It could be the 5th one, yes. Right at the very edge of this bank, and the foot of that tree on the right hand side looks like a pile of snow, but that isn't. That's 2 white goats. You can see what that other white goat over there all by himself laying by a tree. There's 3 goats in this picture, 1, 2, 3, and 1 standing. One down here all by himself. They come down here, and where the glacier water runs down, we may see a glacier here pretty soon that took the guardrail out, that comes down out of the glacier mountain park. But there's a white goat. He comes down here and he gets him a drink of water. The water's okay, but there's also in this here dirt and slid down, there's salt, and they come down for that. This is snow slide that come down, piled up out here. It takes earth with it as it goes, knocks down a few trees as it breaks off and come on down. Pretty good sized glacier there in Glacier National Park. This is the moving glacier. Can't see it move. Might take a long time to do it. Maybe it moves faster in the spring, but it's pushed on down from snow up in the mountains. I believe these are swan. They're migrating north. This here is just not too far from Polson. Closer to Kalispell. That's Margaret. Pixie on the left, Margaret on the right. I believe Lancer and I was in the next one. You can see white round objects in the foreground. You'll see more of them coming up. They are known as snow ghosts. It's pine trees. It's covered with snow. You can see it snowing off there in the distance.
Tonight I'm a tired, weary cowboy.
This is the wedding cake of Ray and Grace's daughter, Roxanne and Jack. I don't know their last names.
For cattle that strayed away. Old Payne is tired and leg weary.
Wedding gifts.
Feet are broken and sore. Oh, someday our work will be over. We'll ride on that other shore. I'm lying rolled up in my blankets. I'm looking straight up at the sky. Boy, it's wonderful. Watching the bright stars a-twinkling away up there on high. Steam, sometimes they may see me, and maybe they understand. Oh, they may be the souls of cowpunchers that's gone to the promised land. When I get way up there yonder, I'll whistle softly and low. My old Payne horse will come running from a passing cloud pasture, I know.
That's Sandy and her husband Dave, who is Roxanne's sister.
Those eyes, oh, I'll mount and
Ray and Grace Hartsock have 3 children living. I don't know how they come in ages, but I'll say it's Roxanne is the youngest, Sandy, and Charlie. Charlie might be younger. I don't know where they come in ages. They have one deceased in a car accident. His name was Robin.
they all must be mavericks. They'll have to be marked with a brand. Oh, you betcha old Payne will be happy on the range in that promised land.
What's all done this fall?
Well, this is one of the greatest songs, and I hope you folks are going to enjoy it as much as I do singing. It goes something like this. A group of jolly cowboys discussing plans at ease. Says one, I'll tell you something, boys, if you will listen, please. I am an old cowpuncher, and though I'm dressed in rags, I used to be a tough one and take on great big gangs.
By the looks of it, that was it.
Since long, long ago, I'm going back to Texas once more to see them all. I'm going to see my mother, boys, when the work's all done.
Jack has 2 boys from a previous marriage. They were very disappointed because they thought they were going to be Hartsocks. Kind of a compliment. I think.
See you boys when the work's all done this fall. That night this very cowboy went out to stand his guard. The night was dark and cloudy and storming very hard. The cattle lay they got frightened and rushed in wild stampede. The cowboy tried to head them while riding in full speed. While riding in the darkness, so loudly did he shout, trying hard to head them and turn that herd about. His saddle horse did stumble and on him it did fall. The boy won't see his mother when the work's all done this fall. His body was so mangled, the boys all thought him dead. They picked him up so gently and laid him on a bed. He opened wide his big blue eyes and looking all around, he motioned to his comrades so near him on the ground. Boys, give mother my wages, the wages I have earned. Tell her not to wait for me, my last year I have turned. I'm going to a new range, I hear the master call, and I'll not see my mother, boys, when the work's all done this fall. Jack, you take my saddle, and Dick, you take my bed. Herman, take my pistol after I am dead. So think of me so kindly when you look upon them all, for I'll not see my mother, boys, when the work's all done this fall. Charlie was buried at sunrise, no tombstone at his head, just a little slab board, and this is what it said. Charlie died at daybreak, he died from a fall, and he'll not see his mother, boys, when the work's all done this fall.
Like a bird that's lost its maiden flight, I'm alone and oh so blue tonight. Like a piece of driftwood on the sea, may you never be alone like me. I believe the lies you told to me.
This is Floyd Peterson, my first cousin, his granddaughter, on her birthday.
Now here am I alone and blue, all because I love no one but you.
Bedtime. Puffs had it. We're up in Olympia now, in a place where they call the Animal Farm. They say that looks like an Indian lady waiting for their warriors to come back. That's taken at Polson, between Polson and Kalispell.
No matter whatever I do, I know it's hard and lonely without come back and be true. Oh, come back to me, love, darling. I miss you each day and each night. Oh, come back to me, love, darling. Don't leave me alone.
Grizzly bear. We watched them make a movie up there advertising Alaska with the Olympic Mountains in the background. Olympia, Washington. This here's old Gentle Ben. Most people have seen him on television. I told him to set up, and he did. Mama duck and her babies. These animals here are used in the movies when they want a picture of a donkey. Well, they'll fly him to wherever they need him.
I have a thing to say. Don't get above your radar. Stay down to earth with me. Gal, you better be yourself and leave that other stuff on the shelf. You're a country baby, that's plain to see. Don't get above your radar, stay down to earth with me. Yes, we do.
We got to see a peacock fight. Here, I guess it is where he's getting ready for it. No, back to the rabbits again. No, maybe.
As a cowboy just a simple open mind, and the messages I get from a dear one left behind, they were filled with sweetness. I took me when I heard, never, never can I forget. These are some things that's good. It's sweet to be remembered on a bright ordinary day. It's sweet to be remembered by dear one for.
We used to call these flowers Jack in the Pulpit. I don't know what they're called up there because they're much bigger than the ones we were familiar with in Illinois.
It's sweet to be remembered when you are far
This is a mate of Gentle Ben. He was the one that's in there, or she, whichever it is, I don't know the sex, but he was in the picture you've seen before, where I was just looking at him laying through the fence. That goes back, and I find by talking to the caretakers that the mate to this, which I think you'll see after this. This one right here is Gentle Ben. He got up, he didn't set suit too proud. I told him, come on, you can do better than that. Set up, he'll mind every command that you say. I gave him an apple. There, he really poses pretty. I tossed the apple to him and hit him on the shoulder. He looked down at it. Wasn't about to get it because there's electric fence there. I told Mark to heck with it. If he eats me, just tell him where I went. I got out and got the apple and I handed it to him, and he took it just as good as any pet that you'd ever want to handle. We're on out. This here is the first ocean Margaret had ever seen. Her comment was,